Okay, we are live with bushcraft, or should I say the bear bush? Okay, we just gonna wing a little bit of it today. I'm gonna see what we can do with.
Well,
And
I just came across something I thought was interesting. Um, you know who, Mr. Potato Head?
yes, sir.
Uh, he doesn't think crimes of drunk driving is can be considered a felony.
Dude, I would love to put his old ass in the damn car with about 7, 8 drunk drivers on a lonely highway and let him see what he thinks about that if he survives.
Yeah, let me see if I can
There,
share this.
there's a whole, I don't know. Potato Head is okay. How can I do this bigger?
Here, there we go.
You only arrest for the purpose of dealing with a felony that's committed, and I don't count drunk driving as a felony. You
Dude, they,
Yeah,
if you notice, the other two people were very quiet on that one. You
yep,
know they wanted to say something. Eh,
and yeah, that's very irritating for me because I lost my wife to a drunk driver and my dad to a drunk driver,
I've lost a couple of friends to drunk driving.
and the one who hit my dad didn't get any damage at all, and he was out in 2 years. I almost got I wasn't allowed in the courtroom after the first part because I got to where I've calmed myself down quite a bit, but because I used to have a really bad temper, and it came out when I was in court when he was doing his he turned, and when they were talking about what happened and everything, and he said he turned up and smirked at me, and that's all it took, and I went over the
Real.
little fence and everything, and I was to do harm to him, put it that way. And that was very rare for me to get mad again. And they ended up taking me out. The judge went ahead and said I couldn't go back in or anything like that, but they wouldn't press charges.
Dude, I believe I would have went to jail for a little while. I'm sorry. You
Well,
know,
the thing is, I was single dad, and I had my um, three older kids there, um,
okay.
because yeah, babysitters and all that, and I didn't expect for me to lose my cool that way, but when I did, it was bad.
Yeah.
And they had to bring in extra people to hold me down.
I know where you're coming from.
Yeah,
I mean, it's hard. I don't think a person could really hold their temper in an
yeah.
ordeal like that. I really don't. You know,
So yeah, when I have a little touchy spot when it comes to drunk driving and stuff.
Yeah. It's kind of funny what some people don't realize is important. But people who has been down that road, they know what it's like.
Yeah.
No, yeah, and
And
yeah,
the fact that a drunk driver can go out there and take somebody's life, but Potato Head doesn't think that's a felony. Again,
how
he doesn't think abortion is a bad thing. So you kind of expect it from somebody like that.
Yeah, but you may expect it from him, but you really don't expect him to get up on national TV and say something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you do, but you don't. Abortion, I'm going to put it like this, okay? I know I'll probably get some hate mail, but I'm against abortion. I'm against drunk driving. That's almost as bad as texting and driving, damn
Oh
near
yeah.
anything. Yeah, I think they ought to put those two in the same category. But
Yeah. It's an impairment.
it is. And the bad thing about it is, and I hate to say it, but once in a while, I'll get called up and my phone will go ding and I'll reach down just to see who it was. And if my wife's with me, she'll snatch the phone out of my hand and she say, "You driving." You know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's,
I always wait until I stop, and then I'll reply and say I'm driving. So that usually means I'll get back to them.
well, half the time, I don't even tell them until I do get up with them. Hell, it'll be a couple of days. But I mean, like my mother used to say, this world has gone to hell in a handbag,
Yeah.
and it's getting worse.
I mean, it used to be you're like football players. You looked up to them. I know that there's people, young ones out there now that look up to, and I dislike him, LeBron.
Yeah.
uh,
And he's the one that takes the knee, right?
well, he takes more than that, but
Well, I'm
beside
trying
the
to be
point.
nice about it, but
Well,
yeah,
because well, look at the two. You have Michael Jordan and you have LeBron James. Um, Back when Michael Jordan played, that was basketball. It was physical. You got knocked on the ground, you got back up, you played strong and hard. Nowadays, you can't touch the person if they're getting ready to go to the basket. It's just straight in there and you dunk the ball. Woohoo! And it's a totally different thing. And they try to combine the two and say which one's better. And hands down, Michael Jordan is the better.
no doubt.
There was a time, the playoffs, and the AC went out, and LeBron James was sitting over like he's passing out, and he's like, "Oh, I can't handle this," and I'm like, which everybody said this. Michael Jordan played with 106 temperature. He had the flu and he still went out there and played. And I said, that is the difference between the two. And
That's dedication.
yeah, that's something that man will never have, is that drive.
Well,
He
now,
he wimped out. And just like he shouldn't be speaking up. He's a basketball player. He should be talking about basketball. But when they branch out and try to sway people to protest and do this and that, I don't know. It's not, if you're up there when you're supposed to be talking about basketball, go away from there and go home and do an interview or something. But don't, when you're supposed to be talking about one thing and you got all these eyes that's basketball people and everything, you shouldn't be preaching your own agenda. Basically, that should be a private thing to where it's not related to a sport. And that's the same thing with football.
well, now,
With the dude that started it all. The thing is, if he would have said ahead of time that I'm going to go out and I'm going to drop a knee because I don't think it's fair that blah 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 whatever, that would have been different than the way he did it. He was pouting about something and wasn't even related to what he was doing. It was something about he was pissed off at his team, so he took a knee. And then he got all the drawbacks, so he came up with this other thing, Kaepernick or whatever his name is. I don't know. Yeah.
The boxer, the one that bit the ear, and I'm going to say
Tyson.
Well, okay. People today saying Tyson is the best boxer ever. You and me both know in our time, you couldn't really put your finger on the best one. There was 5 of them.
Oh, Rocky Marciano.
Yes, it was.
Joe Louis. I mean,
yeah, and Cassius Clay.
Yeah,
well, I'm gonna let y'all figure that out. And then you got Foreman. And then you got Frazier. Rest of them.
Yeah.
But now, wasn't it Foreman who went up against Ali, got his jaw broke, and still fought and won?
No, that was Muhammad Ali that got his against Frazier. He broke his jaw, but kept on going.
Okay. But still, I mean, back then people were dedicated.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't use their sports to protest against something they didn't like.
Yeah, it was, you never seen that.
No.
Now, I don't he can have his say in everything. That's fine. Everybody's entitled to it. But my thing is when you're doing a playoff or something, or a game, and you try to protest something during the game, or something to that effect. Like, you got all these reporters asking, well, how come you lost the game today or something? And, oh, I had my mind on so-and-so that got shot and this and that.
Bullshit.
It shouldn't have anything that you're there for your job, which is basketball. I mean, like if I was go into McDonald's and I would say, hi, how are you doing? Well, I'm not doing very good. I didn't do this. And I don't want to hear it. I want to get my sandwich and go. Not that I would eat at McDonald's, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There's a place for these things. And
I mean, people nowadays are getting away with too damn much shit. What about that guy who got too damn much mayonnaise on his sub, turned around and shot the employee?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to say the
Yeah. Be
name of
careful. I don't.
restaurant or nothing like that. But he shot the person because too damn much mayonnaise.
Tell the rest of that story, though. Do you know
Well,
the rest of the story?
no, but go ahead.
Well, he shot that person, and I'm not sure if he got the second one, but the third one carried. I'm not going to say what, you know what I mean. He carried something and
Yeah.
got back.
Well, see, that's all I've heard. I've not heard about a second or a third one.
Yeah, the third one came out and
Made it even.
pretty much.
Okay. No, I didn't. I mean, I'm sorry. I have not
Well,
heard about.
that's the thing with the media. They only put that the first part what you hear, and then there's a whole nother story behind it.
Okay.
That's kind of like what 101 was trying to get at. We all know that that chick was lying, and it's all rehearsed, and
Yeah.
but you have to pay attention to where they're taking it and what the questions they're asking, and what questions, if you were there, would you be asking, and why aren't they asking those questions?
You're right. I mean, shit.
And
Even
that,
myself.
and that and that's like there's a whole other story that they're blocking off, so they're steering you away from
The real truth.
the real stuff. Yeah, that's why I said it's like a play, but the real story is in backstage.
Well, out of all people, I should have known better instead of just running with what I heard, you know. But I'm glad that you come up here and said everybody like myself who did not know. And
Yeah.
for me doing this and doing what, you know, I should have checked it out, went and asked questions and stuff like that.
Well,
You know,
that's the thing. That's what they try to get. They toss out that juicy bit. What it? I mean, it does. It sells clicks, and that's what it is. It's clicks.
for
It
me,
used to be. Um, they had the headlines on the front page of the newspaper, and that you'd see that, and boom, you would go and put your quarter. Well, it's probably not a quarter anymore, or a
oh
dime, or
no,
whatever it was.
it's a
But
dollar.
we don't even have paper here. They went out of business.
If you want a paper around here, you got to go online to get it.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, we got a paper, a daily paper, but it ain't daily, it's weekly. But it comes out every Thursday. It's a dollar. Okay. The big city newspaper. I'm not going to say the name because it'd give me away. It's like on Wednesdays, no, Sundays. It's dollar and a half.
yeah.
And I swear the paper this day and time ain't nowhere near what it was back in the 80s and 90s. You know, you
Oh
can
yeah.
go you can go get a Sunday paper and have enough to wrap your dishes up when you're moving. Now you gotta go get about 5 or 6 papers.
How many people in chat actually used to get newspapers? I mean, have us not where you go to the store and pick it up, but it was delivered to you. It came to your door. Well, depending on your paper boy.
I
But
was a paper boy back in my neighborhood, back in the day.
yeah,
You
and they
know,
done away. There's no paper boys no more.
no,
I even delivered what they call advertiser. It comes out once a week.
yeah.
I even delivered those. Um,
Well, now the town we lived in, it was twice a week, Wednesdays and Sundays.
oh
But now, who was it? Bluegrass, Sweetheart.
yeah, 3 4 inches thick. I mean, that thing was, and they had funnies in there and all kinds
Yeah.
of stuff.
Beetle Bailey. Yeah, him I like. But the paper back then, shit, you could use it as a baseball bat, a weapon.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you hit somebody with it, they got staggered. You
Oh
know,
well, there's actually people still have newspapers delivered. That's weird.
yeah, but it's built in with your mailbox. You know, like you got your mailbox
Oh
on top and your paper thing up underneath it.
yeah. Oh yes, and the crossword. I remember the crossword puzzles and games
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah. Or the movies or what's coming on TV that night. Or
Yeah.
matter of fact, that whole week. You know, it was
Yeah.
like, but you got that right. You know, like the wife said, it ain't like that no more.
Yeah.
But times have changed, you know. And I tell what was it the other day? I told my wife I'd give some kids $20 a piece just to see them run through the mud puddle, you know,
Oh
like
yeah.
we used to. But
Yeah. The TV guide. Yeah, I remember that.
there you go. That's what I was trying to think of, but couldn't. But you got, I'm gonna say parents who won't even let their kids go out. You know, yeah, take them out, let them go outside, let them play in the mud, let them play in the
Oh yeah.
rain. It builds up their immune system. You know it, and I know
Yeah. I let my kids play in a mud puddle.
it.
It's been years, but I posted pictures of them because I thought, on Facebook and stuff, and I was like, they're having a blast and having fun and stuff. And oh my god, I got so much.
Hate.
Uh, oh, that's awful. You're a horrible father letting them get dirty and like that. And I'm like, that's what the washing machine is and the bathtub's for.
And the hose pipe outside.
Yeah.
I'll put it to you like this. I'm a truck bed riding. How does this go? A no seat belt, standing up, laying in the back dash, and all that, drinking that the hose pipe. I've done all that shit.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I'm still here to tell about it today.
Yeah.
You know,
There was no, you went out and you weren't allowed to be at home unless you were doing your chores. But after the chores, get your butt out the door and go have fun.
the only time we could stay home is when it was raining,
Yeah.
and still we got outside.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Out
were drenched,
out until the street light came on.
and everybody knew what that meant. You
Yep.
best be home before the street light come on, because if you didn't, you're gonna have a sore tail going to sleep at
Yeah.
night. You know, but I mean, come on, back then, how many times from the time your feet hit the floor, you ate breakfast and went out the door? How many times did you call your parents and say, "Hey, I'm okay"?
Well, we didn't have a phone. You couldn't. Yeah, it's like you couldn't go to a payphone or anything. I
No,
mean, you didn't have a phone to carry around.
Well, like you said, it was a payphone, and back
Yeah,
then, the cheapest time I remember the payphone was 10 cents
yeah,
to make a
same
call.
here.
You know, and then it went up to a quarter, and that was before you realized what how to do a collect call. And I'm not going to
Oh,
say nothing to
that
that.
was expensive as hell.
Yeah, but they had to accept it. You know, you make a phone call saying, "Hey,
Well,
yeah,
you remember there was time when you said you had to make a collect call, and you give them a number, and they say, "Hold on a second," and they say, "We have a collect call from," and they'd let you talk for a second, and you
yeah."
say, "Mom, I'm okay. I'll be home in an hour," or something like that. And she say, "No, I don't want to accept it."
Copycat, you are so right. I forgot all about that. During the summertime, how many went barefooted? How many could run across rocks?
Oh, I I remember. Oh, I was working somewhere, and my feet got completely soaked. I mean, I had sat in water for 10 hours, and I did this for a week, and it wore off like layers of skin, and
Mm-hmm.
and I had looked at the bottom of my feet, and I seen thorns and stuff that was still were stuck in my feet from when I was younger, going around barefooted and stuff.
Yeah. But
Like that was the coolest thing I ever seen. It wasn't cool, but because I was losing skin on my feet. But
well, now when I was coming, we went barefooted everywhere. I mean, you could not keep my feet in a pair of shoes. Period.
I used
And
to race barefooted.
oh hell yeah, no doubt. But the time I wish I had a pair of shoes on is when I was walking the railroad tracks. That steel was hot, and then you jumped on the cross ties,
They
and
were
your
hot.
feet got blistered.
Yep.
And that was the only time I wish I had shoes. But other than that, no.
Well, you grew up over in the nice cool area. I I was out in Arizona when going barefooted was it would hurt. And that's where you get them little thorns, those little you get them in your feet. But my feet, I used to have like a real tough feet to where I could walk over um, anything hot. It wouldn't bother me at all.
Yeah, I was the same way. You know, I mean, my feet, the bottom of it, I bet you was about 2 inches of nothing but, rough skin. I can't even think of the name of it. You know, and I'm not gonna say try this, but you could just about walk across glass and it not really
Oh
bother.
yeah.
You know, Scripture Man Stan, sir, how are you doing this afternoon? Shanoa, be charming, and everyone else. I hope y'all having a good day. I forgot to do a shout out at the beginning of it. Be charming, you right. My first air conditioner that I could remember was a window unit. And the only time that would get turned on was at nighttime so we could go to sleep.
Yeah.
And at 5 a.m., it got cut off until about what, 7, 8 o'clock.
Most of the time it was a box fan in the window.
Oh, I remember them.
What,
Mine was a box fan.
yeah.
But
one blowing in from one side of the house and one blowing out on the other side of the house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I grew up.
Yeah. The best house that I think
We didn't have no air conditioners.
that we lived in was in Lexington, North Carolina. It had a roof fan, okay? And it was a 2-story house. You turn that thing on, all the air would get sucked up the stairs. I would go sit in on the steps, and back then I had long hair. I mean, my hair would be standing straight up like electricity. Y'all can't see me, but I'm talking with my hands too. But it's like I was standing on top of my head. And if I could have fallen asleep on them steps, that's where I would have slept all night long.
Yeah. Out west they had the swamp coolers.
Okay. Now you're gonna have to educate me what a swamp cooler
Okay.
is.
Basically it's a big box that has a big fan in the middle of it. And the outside is like almost like filter stuff. I don't know what you call it, but it's like basically water drips down, and when it drips, it gets sucked. The air gets sucked through, and it cools off the air, and then it blows into your house. And this is you don't have this out in the east because the humidity, but out west, that's a cheap way for to cool a house. And if it gets really hot, you can buy a block of ice and put it inside there.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and the water pumps up to the top of the screen areas and drips down in there and circulates over and over again.
Sorry about that. I was reading what scripture man Stan said. We called it a water cooler, had to put the water hose to it. But I mean, today's houses are built so there is no draft in the houses.
Yeah.
Back then, shit, you could blow a candle out. You set one in the window.
That's right. Copycat knows what a swamp cooler is.
Okay. But I've heard my daddy tell us when we were coming up. Now, you got to remember, my daddy was a mountain man. All right. He said he has woken up in the mornings and there was snow on the bed. And I thought, yeah, right. Come on, sure. He showed us the house that he grew up in, and he said it hadn't changed one bit.
Huh.
There was cracks in the wall you could throw a full-grown cat through. And I looked and said, like, yeah, right. You that young, you don't know if your parents is telling you the truth or picking with you.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on, back then your parents didn't lie.
Said our lock was a screwdriver in the back door. That was our lock.
Yep.
But there's many a nights
Back in the day when I was a kid.
There's many a nights I've slept out on the front porch, in a blanket.
Oh yeah. I mean, would you? Well, you're out in the boonies, but
right now,
yeah. Would you, if you're close to a city, would you let your kids sleep out on the front porch now?
Hell no. Yeah. Wait a minute. Yeah, I would, but I wouldn't get no sleep.
I was going to say if you was out there with them.
Yeah. I'd be right out there with them. You know,
They get snatched up easy this day and time.
yeah. You know, this day and time you can't let your kids play outside on
Yeah.
kind of they're going to disappear. Yeah, I mean,
Back then you could.
yeah,
I remember summertime, even 10 years ago, you would see kids driving up and down the sidewalks on their bicycles.
Oh yeah.
You hardly
skateboard.
see kids outside uh, riding around on a bicycle. That used to be, oh man, if that's one of the first things I would, if I was moving to a new town or something, that's the first thing I would do is get me a bicycle.
Yeah. Stan, I remember my grandmother sweeping off the walk. She called the front porch and the sidewalk, and every bit of that was dirt. I've seen her sweep that many a times. And I've seen where my daddy would go out and pick straw and make brooms for the house.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hey, look, I'm sorry, but brooms back then looked like witches' brooms, you know,
Yeah.
and that's what they swept the floor with,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But I
Well, that's
mean,
a lot longer than these plastic ones that make now.
how many times have you gone to the store and bought a broom, brought it home, go to sweep, and it come apart on you?
Yeah, right there at that plastic,
Uh-huh.
it always breaks.
Mm-hmm.
End
Every
up driving screws through it or something, try to get it to last a little while.
Yeah.
yeah.
Or knocking it back again and knocking it down.
So, but I mean, times are sure different. I think me, you, and a whole bunch of people in chat has grown up in the same era, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, I hate to say it, my grandyoungins now a little bit. We were sitting over my daughter's house. My grandson, the oldest one, is 17 years old. All right. He was going skating. And a couple of his friends was coming over to pick him up. And I asked Mom, I said, you ever met him? She said, no. And I said, well, it's about time, you know. And I looked at my grandson. I said, before you get in that car, they are to come in this house. And he got all sideways, bent out of shape and everything.
Mm-hmm.
His mama was sitting there laughing, and he told her son, you see what I had to go through when I was coming up? Hey, you're damn right. I'm sorry. Before any of my youngins take off with somebody I don't know, bring your ass in my house because I'm going to drill you real good. I want to know who you are, where you growed up, who your parents are, how you was raised, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, I had my daughter, my oldest daughter was going on a date, and he pulled up and honked his horn. I said, "Oh hell no!" She didn't go on a date.
I've been there. Trust me.
And
All the people that's going
to, he honked about 5-6 other times. I walked out and waved at him, walked back in, and pretty soon, badoop, badoop, on the cell phone. And I said, I told her, I said, you're not going on a date. I said, if he doesn't have enough respect for you to walk up to the door and get you, he's not worth. I said other things, but yeah.
Yeah.
Look, the only person coming up in my driveway blowing a horn better be the pizza delivery person to make sure I don't have a dog. I'm right there with you 100% bushcraft. You know,
Yeah.
that's how you tell if it's going to turn out pretty good between those two, really.
Yeah.
You know, it's now I may have not have done this a lot when me and the wife was dating. Going yonder, you grounded.
I'm right here.
But to me, I know you are. But to me now, if a man opens the door, pulls the chair out, or whatever, y'all women better keep his ass.
Who sees that now? I mean,
Exactly.
out there, even in movies and stuff, you don't see that.
No, you don't. And that's a shame.
Yeah.
But, it's all get the door yourself. Your arms ain't broke. You know.
You can open the car door by yourself.
Yeah. Here, let me open the door for you. Tick, tick. There, it's unlocked.
Well, one thing my grandpa told me, he says when you open the door and put the girl in the front seat and you walk around backwards or the back of the car or front, whatever the case may be, and you keep your eye open, if that girl reaches across the front seat and unlocks your door, that's a keeper. And that always stuck in my head. And I ended up getting one. That's the very first thing she did was reach over and unlock that door for me. When we used to have to put the key in and unlock the door, nowadays you push a button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. But I've never heard that, nor have I even thought about that.
Yeah.
You remember the cars with the light switches and what for the lights brighten and dim?
In the
Yeah,
floor.
The floorboard.
Yeah.
A lot of them didn't know that.
Oh, hell.
I like watching the videos of the kids nowadays. They would show them like a cassette player or a cassette. They can't figure out how to open the dang thing, let alone play it. A telephone, the dial telephones. You watch them.
I broke one out and asked my grandson, show me how to work it. Believe it or not, he knew how to work it.
The dial.
The dial one.
Well, he probably watched one of those videos.
But he didn't know what a 45 was record.
Yeah.
Oh,
or 78.
Or a 70.
yeah, 78's the older ones.
That's the
I
thick
got a
one.
few of them. I got about a couple of them.
It's
I destroyed so many of those. I wish I wouldn't have, because they make really good frisbees.
It was 78 and
78.
45s, and then the
78 is what we got now.
The medium size.
Reel to reel.
78.
8-track.
Yeah.
I have an 8-track player.
Oh shit! That was my first stereo. Was an 8-track.
Yep. My first one I actually bought brand new. Everybody gonna make fun of me. Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not even going to tell you what mine was. Johnny Cash.
And you heard.
Oh, that's a good one.
Go ahead.
So, Johnny Cash, and when I started running around and bought the 8-track and to go up underneath the dash, I think it was Boston, and no, that was cassette. What was it? No, Van Halen. Because they were still coming out with some 8-tracks then.
Yeah. Um,
I,
84, wasn't it?
I want to say it was. What was it? 80? No, I'm not going by the year. I'm going by
Oh,
the
that was the album, 84.
yeah. 8150, 84, something. That was the first Van Halen I bought. That was 8-track, and it had "Running with the Devil" on
Running
it.
with the Devil.
Yep, you
Sweet
know
nothing
it
comes
too.
up to me one day when I'm walking down. I better, you're gonna get in trouble. I still know that.
But
That
my
was early rapping on a
man,
heavy metal band. Well,
oh
it
no,
wasn't quite heavy metal. It was just rock.
my son started getting into rock and roll, and he was telling me some songs that he thought was off the chart, some of the best he ever heard. And I finally asked him, I said, "Who you talking about?" He said, "Pink Floyd." He said, "That's a new group
Oh.
that just come out." And I laughed at him. I said, "Bullshit."
I've been out when I was coming up.
And he
Yeah.
said, "You ain't never heard of Pink Floyd." I said, "I tell you what." I said, "Have you got any Pink Floyd records in your bedroom?" He said, "Yeah, I got one." I said, "Go push it in or start playing it." First song come on, I was telling him what they was fixing to say. Like, yeah. He looked at me like, okay, I lost this argument. He, until this day, he has still got every one of Pink Floyd's albums.
Life with Bobby. I don't want to hear how getting your rush in an antique store. It's not that old now.
2112. Yeah, that
What
was
about
pretty good.
the little record players you put in cars, plays records?
Well, I vaguely remember them. I don't think
My uncle had
bushcraft would
one.
remember that.
I don't
Do
know.
you remember the 45 record players that
Just
was
go-
installed in cars?
No, you
Uh oh.
get them in
Yeah.
stock.
Yeah, you're right.
You buy 'em. Get them in stock.
Okay, mods, where you at? Up. Hey, wait a minute. Bushcraft got that. Come on, y'all getting a little slack here.
What?
Oh, it's not,
I ain't adding that.
there we go.
You got him. I
Yeah.
tried.
It was taking a while for some reason. Let me go ahead and report now.
That's the way my internet's been for the last 2 days. Thank you, Lake. She fell asleep.
Huh?
We got bots coming in with the X-rated clips and everything, and we're trying to knock them out before
Why?
because they assholes. They don't
Yeah, I
want.
always delete the message first, and then I time them out. Then I report them.
I wish there was a way you could just knock them slap off. You know.
Somebody's doing it.
Yeah. They doing it on purpose.
Ain't
But
right.
you know, you told your age about the record players.
Okay.
Oh,
I remember the reel-to-reel tapes too.
yeah. I've seen the record players in cars, but
There's no way you can find
never
one.
had one. I had the 8-track.
I would love to have one that works.
Yeah,
You remember boom boxes when you used to carry them big old boxes around?
I had 2 or 3 of them.
Yep.
Ring boxes.
Yeah, the speakers wasn't really worth that good, much because they'd blow after a
Oh
couple
yeah.
of days. But and then I moved into the compact stereos. For the houses.
Um,
I had to
remember
call.
when Walkmans came out was
Oh my God!
like almost $80 for that thing.
Yeah, a Walkman. That's some great big thick ones you could not even put in your back pockets.
Oh yeah, they had clips and they had a strap that goes around your head.
Yeah, and then
there we go. There's a good question, Jeff.
who's got it?
Did you disco?
Sassy Cat. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna tell my age a little bit. And my wife don't even know this. I used to disco on roller skates. Okay. But I got thrown out of the roller skating rink more than I roller skating.
I still got a Jeep, one of those boom boxes. It's got a cassette and CD player in it, but I think the CD player doesn't work anymore.
I've got one that's got the that not there in the shop. That's got the 8-track in it. Yeah,
it's got you need like 20 D batteries to run that thing.
Oh no, I'm talking. Yeah, you're right about that one. I think the ones I used to have 10D batteries.
Blue leisure suit.
Hell no.
When I had, you had to plug it up.
Yeah.
The 8-track. One my mama had.
I did not have the blue leisure suit. I wasn't rich enough. But I did have blue dye.
What's that other one that remember Miami Vice? When everybody had that little jacket and they pulled the sleeves up, when that was a big old fad. What I can't remember his name. It was Crockett and Tubbs, but I can't remember what Crockett's real name was.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about because he always walked around with the sleeves up.
Yeah, and the little shoes with no socks.
Slip-ons. You talking about penny loafers?
Yep. And he always wore those baggy white pants and then a t-shirt and that white shirt or that white. Uh-oh. Well, not like that. They were cloth ones. Yeah, Don Johnson. That's it.
Yeah. You remember that gun?
Everybody and their brother was wearing them jackets around like that.
Do you remember that piece shooter he had? The gun? What the hell with it? That was a rarity. They didn't make but something like about 30 of them, if I'm not mistaken. And you notice how when he would drop the clip and pop a nut in, there was people running behind him picking the clips up because the gun itself was so rare.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Huh.
And was it him? Which one had the Barracuda? The second one come out. He had the Barracuda. It was the
Barracuda.
Yeah, it was the 72 Barracuda, the one that's worth almost $2 million today.
Oh yeah,
man.
And that's another one. I remember the Roadrunner.
Mm-hmm.
Not the cartoon, but the car.
Yeah,
that
Roadrunner. What is it, SX or GTX?
Yeah, those things are rare now. You don't see them anymore.
No.
Oh, by the way, everybody, after we get done here, make sure you go over and I just brain fart. Bigfoot's channel.
Yeah,
Lake just put it in chat.
Lake Ferris says hello, Miss Bear.
Tell her I said hey.
Oh, she heard.
Much blessed.
But I mean, I reckon today's show I should have said back in the day, you know.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's good to remember the good times and
it
kind of
is.
forget about the time we're in.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Climbing trees. How
I
many
used to stay
kids
up
you
in the
see in
tree.
trees now?
Oh yeah.
Shit. The only time you see a person up in the tree is a man that pissed his wife off.
Oh, Lake is Bigfoot going live at 7, you said?
Is that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna cut it here, and well, I'll tell you what. To show
All the way, we made it all the way to the end of it, and he finally said it.
what
I tell you
I
what.
tell you what. Damn.
Who said what?
Okay, I'm gonna show Bigfoot respect. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna cut it, and I'm gonna end it here. So please, y'all go to Dig Deeper Ministries. Listen to Bigfoot, see what he's got to say. And is there anything you want to add to it, Bushcraft?
Nope, just I'll see everybody over there.
All right. Y'all have a good one. And we will be out.
Have a good one.